We're now discussing our part 8 of our lecture, still negotiable instrument, title 1, chapter 3, section 33. As we have discussed before, we're now going to the kind of endorsement under section 33. Kinds of endorsement. An endorsement may either be special or in blank, and it may also be either restrictive or qualified or conditional. So, very self-explanatory. We go to section 34. A special endorsement and endorsement in blank. A special endorsement specifies the person to whom or to whose order the instrument is to be payable, and the endorsement of such endorsee is necessary to the further negotiation of the instrument. While an endorsement in blank specifies no endorsee, and an instrument so endorsed is payable to bearer and may be negotiated by delivery. Okay. If it is a special endorsement, the name should be specified, or it would be put there, putting the specific person. But if the endorsement is blank, it means it can be endorsed to the bearer and negotiated by delivery. Section 35. Blank endorsement. How change to special endorsement? The holder may convert a blank endorsement into a special endorsement by writing over the signature of the endorser in blank any contract consistent with the character of the endorsement. So, if the endorser decided to change his mind and decided to make it a special endorsement, then he just write over the blank space with the special endorsement. Section 33. When an endorsement is restrictive. An endorsement is restrictive which either prohibits the further negotiation of the instrument. B. Constitute the endorsee the agent of the endorser. Or C. Vest the title in the endorsee in trust for or to use the same for other person. But the mere absence of words implying power to negotiate does not make an endorsement restrictive. So again, what is an endorsement? When is endorsement restrictive? It is when the endorsement put restriction or limitation on the instrument itself by A. Prohibits further negotiation, putting it there that is the prohibited to be negotiated further. B. Constitute the endorser the agent, to just put the agent of the endorser, so meaning an agent has limited capacity. C. Vest the title in the endorser for trust or something. So that is what section 36 means. 37. Effect of a restrictive endorsement and right of an endorsee. A restrictive endorsement confers upon the endorsee the right A. To receive payment of the instrument. B. To bring any action thereon that the endorser could bring. C. To transfer his right as such endorsee where the form of the endorsement authorizes him to do so, but all the subsequent endorsees acquire only the title of the first endorsee under the restrictive endorsement. So yung endorsement is wherein it is the transfer of rights for the subsequent holder. This is what they call endorsement. Section 38. Qualified endorsement. A qualified endorsement constitutes the endorser a mere assigner of the title of the instrument. It may be made by adding to the endorser's signature the word without recourse or any words of similar import. Such endorsement does not impair the negotiable character of this instrument. So, this is different from restrictive. This is qualified. Qualified meaning the endorsement is just constitute endorser, a mere assigner to the title. So there is no negotiation for that particular endorser. So there is they just put it the word signature without recourse. So although it is very limited, it is not under the restrictive but rather a qualified endorsement. Section 39. Conditional endorsement. Where an endorsement is conditional, a party required to pay the instrument will disregard the condition and make payment to the endorsee or his transferee whether the condition has been fulfilled or not. But any person to whom an instrument so endorsed is negotiated will hold the same or proceeds thereof, subject to the right of persons endorsing conditionally. So this is a conditional, whether conditional endorsement, putting on there is a obligation to fulfill, or it may not be fulfilled, but the transferee has the right to choose. There's always the transferee. Section 40. Endorsement of instrument payable to bearer. This is not a particular person when we're talking about bearer. Where an instrument payable to bearer is endorsed especially, it nevertheless be further negotiated by delivery, but the persons endorsing specially is liable as endorser to only such holder as make title to his endorsement. Self-explanatory. Section 41. Endorsement where payable to two or more persons. Where an instrument is payable to order of two or more payees or endorsees who are not partners, almost endorse unless the one endorsing has authority to endorse for the partner. Okay. Endorsement to a two or more person. Section 42. Effect of endorsement. Drawn or endorsed to a person as a cashier. Where an instrument is drawn or endorsed to a person as cashier or other fiscal officer of a bank or corporation, it is deemed prima facie to be payable to the bank or corporation of which is such officer, and may be negotiated by either the endorsement of the bank or corporation or the endorsement of the officer. So this is just the position of the one holding the position of the bank. So the one who can endorse is either the president, the chairman, or whoever is agreed upon by the corporation through their board of directors. Section 42. Endorsement. Endorsement where name is misspelled and so forth. Where the name of a payee or endorsee is strongly designated or misspelled, he may endorse the instrument as thereon described, adding, if he thinks fit, his proper signature. So you can put the correct signature and the correct name. Section 44. Endorsement in representative capacity. Where any person is under obligation to endorse in a representative capacity, he may endorse in such terms as to negative personal liability. So when we're talking about negative personal liability, there's no personal liability. Section 45. Time of endorsement, presumption. Except where endorsement bears a date after the maturity of the instrument, every negotiation is deemed prima facie to have been effected before the instrument was overdue. So there is always a presumption that it was done before it becomes overdue or before the due date. Section 46. Place of endorsement, presumption. Except where the contrary appears, every endorsement is presumed prima facie to have been made at the place where the instrument is dated. This is what we call presumption. When it is called presumption, it means it is treated as such. Section 47. Continuation of negotiable character. An instrument negotiable in origin continues to be negotiable until it has been precisely endorsed or discharged by payment or otherwise. Section 48. Striking out endorsement. The holder may at any time strike out any endorsements which is not necessary to his title. The endorser whose endorsement is struck out, and all endorsers subsequent to him, are thereby relieved from any liability on the instrument. So, if either the endorsement was struck out, or if it was cancelled, or it was slashed, when you put it slashed physically, then it's considered it was striking out. Section 49. Transfer without endorsement, effect of. Where the holder of instrument payable to his order transfer it for value without endorsing it, the transfer vests in the transfer's title as the transferor had therein, and the transferee acquires in addition the right to have the endorsement of the transferor. But for the purpose of determining whether the transfer is a holder in due course, the negotiation takes effect as the time when the endorsement is actually made. So, this is just again the presumption. Section 50. When prior party may negotiate instrument. Where an instrument is negotiated back to a prior party, before, meaning the party before the one who had negotiated, such party may be subject to the provision of the reissue and further negotiate the same, but he is not entitled to enforce payment thereof against any intervening party to whom he was personally liable. So it was endorsed back, then he is entitled to enforce payment thereof for any intervening parties he was personally liable. So that's the end of chapter 3.